I also want you to talk about what you call one of your biggest disappointments in life.
Sure. So I was recruited by all of the academies, and I had another opportunity talking about a great team. Vanderbilt also recruited me, and they were putting something together as a partial scholarship. And Walt, it's important to know that my senior year was the first year that the NCAA changed the rules. You used to be, if you graduated in 1973 and you signed a scholarship, you got a 4-year grant in aid. Okay. And what would happening is the cost of that, if people stopped playing, as long as you tried, they had to pay. So they said, okay, we're going to make them 1 year. So you basically get a 1-year scholarship that's renewable depending on you being on the team. So a combination of that, and not that I doubted myself, but I was not, weights weren't a big thing. Weights that come out, I'm paying for sports. I'm doing it all on just the limited natural talent I have. And most importantly, my heart. And, I was competitive. So West Point recruited me. So freshman year, I did play on our freshman team, quarterback. We had a guy named Lehman Hall. When I was a freshman, he was trading out starting on varsity. So when spring training came along, they said, okay, Herman, we're going to move you to defensive back. You'll have a better chance of actually doing something. Now, Walt, my ego tells me that they were still thinking I had some talent and potential. But in reality, what I think it was, with the defensive backs, and what do you need on a defensive back? You need somebody to throw passes. Through the drills.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I did that. And again, I rotated in. So the good news is sophomore year, I'm third string varsity. The bad news is there's a freshman starting in front of me.
Right,
So, it's like, and I tell you, Walt, I'm one of these guys, I'm like a dog on a bone. I had not gone home after school, since my 8th grade year. Because between student council, sports and everything. Yeah. So it was no big deal for me at West Point, where it's really difficult. Our kids have to take the same courses when they play football. So what happened is at so sophomore year went by, and at the end of spring's training sophomore year, Homer Smith was our coach, bless his heart, great soul. I have a lot of respect for him. He called me in and he said, Herman, you're never going to start an Army-Navy game. Okay, so that is a signal that, you only come here to play an Army-Navy game. So if you're not going to do that, why are you here? So he actually called my mother as well, called my mother and sent her a letter. He sent her a note, sent her a letter. Talked about what a great young man I was and blah, blah, however. And it was one of the most disappointing days in my life, because I had always been part of a team and I just wanted to run out on that field. I was on the scout team and really helping the team get ready. And you sat there, and in one sense, it was one of the worst things that happened to me. In another sense, probably one of the best things that happened to me.
Yep.
Because I looked at it as a failure personally. I was questioning myself. Am I who I think I am? And then after that, I had done very well at West Point in terms of the leadership characteristics. And at that time, they were picking students to go to Ranger School. And my tactical officer, as a result of my peer ratings from, other people, how I did in athletics and physical training, they wanted to make sure the people they sent to Ranger School were going to be very successful. So my tactical officer said, Bulls, you're going to Ranger School. And so I was, what do they call it? Nominated. I guess what is that word they use when you volunteer? I was voluntold.
Voluntold, yeah.
Voluntold that I was going to Ranger School, and probably one of the most important experiences of my life.